Ladies and gentlemen, the Nintendo Switch has tons of different categories of gaming, but one of the most prevalent categories on the Switch is RPGs. Some of the greatest RPGs to ever exist are on this console, so today I'm going to tell you what I think are the 10 best RPGs on the Nintendo Switch. My name is Robot Joe and I'm your host as always. Let's go ahead and get started. Yeah, there's so many great categories on the Switch. We have first-person shooters, we have RPGs, we have quiet and cozy little indie games. There's tons to choose from. But RPGs are one of the biggest categories, so it's kind of hard to filter through them. I'm going to tell you what I think are the 10 best RPGs on the Switch. But before we do that, I did a giveaway recently and the game finally got to the person. And they chose? That's right, they chose Super Monkey Ball. Great choice in my opinion. So remember, every 1,000 subscribers, I give away a Switch game, so at 4,000 subscribers, we'll give away another one, and every 500 followers on Instagram, I give away another Switch game. So make sure you like and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram so we can keep this community growing, and let's get into this video. Probably my favorite RPG of all time is Dragon Quest XI. It's such an engaging game. I truly was recommended this game 20 times before I ever picked it up. I just knew it was not going to be for me, and I beat the entire game. I think in 2 weeks. I just could not put it down. It was so freaking fun. I loved all the different characters. I loved all the special abilities. I think the world that was laid out before you is just so fun to explore. You can't wait to go to the next city or the next area. You are the Luminary, the hunted hero who will protect the land from destruction. With a ragtag band of adventurers, you'll engage in well-balanced, turn-based battles and embark on quests across the kingdom. And I absolutely love the personalities of each character. You really feel like you get to know these people and they become your friends. Some become your foes. And it's awesome to figure out who you want in your main party. 100% I would have to recommend this game to anybody, fans of RPGs or not. So one of the greatest games released this year happens to be an RPG, and it's Octopath Traveler 2. Just the graphics alone are enough to make you stop and be like, whoa, what is this game? But then when you get into the gameplay and the story, you're going to become a lifelong fan. The story takes place in Celestia, where diverse cultures thrive from east to west, and the industries of the new era flourish. You can sail the seas and explore every corner of a world that changes from day to night. Each traveler has a unique set of path actions that they can use to battle townspeople, obtain items, take others along in their travels, and more. Where will you go? What will you do? Every path is yours to take. So the cool thing is, each character, depending on what you do, your path can end up intertwining later on in the game. And it's not just like by random encounter, it all makes sense in the story. I just think games like this are so amazing because, yes, all game companies want a huge AAA blockbuster $200 million game. And I'm not saying a lot of money and time didn't go into this game, but it's the gameplay and the charm that's going to keep you wanting more. Octopath Traveler 2 is a must play. So I'm not even sure how I would say this title. Is it Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE Encore, or is it just Tokyo Mirage Sessions Encore? Because I think the FE stands for Fire Emblem. Well, regardless, this game is a must-play RPG. The worlds of the Fire Emblem series and Atlas games have crossed paths again. An interdimensional evil has invaded modern-day Tokyo, resulting in this fantastical barrage of music, style, and yes, danger. Battle through dungeons to pump up your strategy before all hope fades to black. You and the rising stars you call your friends who need to call on your own creative power, manifested as iconic Fire Emblem characters to wage a secret war on rogue spirits that feed on creativity. Each encounter will immerse you in deep, turn-based battles that blend the combat of the Fire Emblem and the Atlas RPGs into one brutal harmony. This game was a random pickup to me because I was just reading the back of it and I didn't realize it had anything to do with Fire Emblem, but I'm just a huge fan of like fashion, and I was like, whoa, an RPG that has to do with fashion, what is this? And I played like halfway through this game before I even realized the connection to Fire Emblem. That being said, this game could stand alone on its own. It doesn't need the connection to Atlas games or Fire Emblem. They could have named this Tokyo Fashion Killer or something like that, and it would have did just as well. So if I want to know about a person, I'll ask them, are you a dog person or a cat person? If they answer cat person, I'll say, cool. And if they answer dog person, I'll say, cool. There's no wrong answer. Cats and dogs, they rule. But what about an RPG that has to do with the world of cats and dogs? I know, it sounds amazing. I'm talking about Cat Quest 2. Cat Quest 2 is a 2D open-world action RPG set in a fantasy realm of cats and dogs, under threat from a continuing war between the cats and the advancing dogs. Cat Quest tells the tale of two kings brought together against their will, on a journey of possum, get it, discovery to reclaim their thrones. Play as both a cat and dog as you explore their kingdom solo or with a friend. Just because you can do it doesn't mean it needs to be done, but you can do it and you should do it. A game versus cats versus dogs, a tale as old as time. This is amazing. It just makes perfect sense. And I know it sounds kind of whimsical, but there's an awesome adventure to be had here. And I think this is just a great RPG. So there's a couple of Xenoblade games to choose from on the Switch, but I would have to recommend Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Join Noah and Mio, members of two opposing nations, on a heartfelt journey through a warring world with a dark secret. Traverse massive, fantastical landscapes and master seamless, real-time RPG combat as you expose a true enemy pulling the strings. The world that you play through in Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is actually one of my favorite worlds or maps in gaming. It truly is mesmerizing, it's beautiful, it's breathtaking, the gameplay is great, it's action-packed, and people may be wondering, like, if I've never played a Xenoblade game, should I start with the third one? Most people would probably say, yeah, go back and play the first ones, but actually, I think the opposite. I think this is the greatest game to get you into the series. You're going to see how amazing that the game has become, and you're going to appreciate what it is, and then you're going to be like, wow, if this was so good, maybe I want to go learn some older lore, or just see what it was before, and then you can go back and play the older stuff. But I would absolutely start with Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So there was a game that released on the Famicom, or the Super Famicom, I believe, only in Japan, and it finally made an appearance in America as a remastered form, and that game is Live Alive. Absolutely one of the games that I would recommend to anybody. An RPG fan or not, this game is truly a work of art. It's a masterpiece. It is like giving a blank canvas to all the greatest artists and designers and game developers and saying, make something wonderful. So what's cool about this game is it's basically multiple games inside of a game that become one big game. You get to play as, I believe, 7 or 8 different people, and each one of those people basically has their own mini game. So what I mean is, like, you can go and play through a prehistoric game and a whole adventure. Then you can go play through a futuristic adventure. Then you can go play through a Western adventure. Then you can go through and play through an ancient Chinese adventure. It's amazing. It truly is. The gameplay is so freaking good. The battle system is amazing. The stories are just phenomenal. And I think this game kind of went under the radar. But I'm absolutely here to tell you that this is one of the greatest Nintendo Switch games of all time, period. So one cool thing about RPGs is they come in all shapes and sizes, and different looks. You might not even know you're playing an RPG, and a game that I have that is a perfect example of that is Golf Story. Golf Story combines the sheer excitement of golf with a serious story that plays out over 8 different courses. Play the story of a golfer who is forced to give up all that he holds dear for one last shot at accomplishing his dreams. It almost seems like a lot of us can relate to that. Sometimes you have to take a risk. Sometimes you work so hard towards something and you might only have one shot at it. But all is not so simple in the world of golf. To best today's players, you have to be able to keep up with them both on and off the course. There really is a huge and dramatic story with a diverse cast of characters here, and it gets pretty deep. I understand that it's a golf game, but that's just the forefront. You know that everything gets deeper as you start to peel back layers, so definitely check it out. So a game in a series that needs absolutely no introduction is the Persona series, and we finally have Persona 5 on the Switch, and this is probably going to be a lot of people's number 1 RPG on the Switch and on other consoles, and for great reason. I mean, what the Persona world has become is nothing short of impressive. This is the be-all end-all of the Persona games. It truly is amazing. This is another series that I would say, if you've never played a Persona game, play this one. If you enjoy it, then go back and play the old ones. They all hold up. These games do have a lot of dialogue, but that's what kind of builds up the story. It really does immerse you. Forced to transfer to a high school in Tokyo, the protagonist has a strange dream. You truly are a prisoner of fate. In the near future, ruin awaits you. He must save others from distorted desires by dooming the mask of a phantom thief. So another great RPG on the Switch is Triangle Strategy. Whenever I make top 10 Switch games list, there's a couple of games that always pop up. People are like, where's this game? Where's this game? And Triangle Strategy is always one of those recommendations. But I thought it would be better in a video surrounding RPGs, so that's why it's in this video. All of your decisions will make the difference. You get to command a group of units in a tangled plot where key choices you make will influence the story. You know how a lot of games will give you multiple options? You can have 10 different people play the game, and all 10 different people can choose different options, but in the end, it's the same damn game. Everybody's going to end up the same place. That's not the case in this game. They actually give you different options, and it actually impacts the story, which is amazing. This game has stunning HD 2D visuals that actually blend in with 3D environments, so it makes a really cool landscape. Each decision you make will bolster one of 3 convictions: utility, morality, or liberty, which together make up the worldwide view and influence of who will join you and lend their talents to your army. You can actually play through this game multiple times to see how other choices impact the adventures. It does actually matter depending on what you choose. All in all, any fan of RPGs definitely needs to play Triangle Strategy. How could I possibly have a list of the greatest RPGs on the Switch and not have Fire Emblem? I know, you're probably like, where's the Fire Emblem game? Where's the Fire Emblem game? Don't worry, I got you covered. Fire Emblem Engage is one of the greatest RPGs and Fire Emblem games of all time. In a war against the Fell Dragon, 4 kingdoms work together with heroes from other worlds to seal away this great evil. 1,000 years later, the seal has weakened, and the Fell Dragon is about to reawaken. As a divine dragon, use rich strategies and robust customization to meet your destiny. So why is it called Fire Emblem Engage? Because you actually engage. Aside from merging appearances, engaging lets you use your weapons, skills, and more from these legends during battle. The turn-based tactical battle is back with a brand new engage system to add more layers to the strategy. Again, this is one of the greatest looking games on the Switch. The world that they have set out before you is nothing short of mesmerizing. There's a lot of adventure here, but a cool thing about Fire Emblem Engage is they are still releasing DLC. Like, it comes in waves, like every 4 months, 6 months or something like that. Pretty much anytime there's a Nintendo Direct, there's a new wave of DLC for this game, and it's keeping this game alive, it's keeping it exciting, and when you play a good game and it's over, you're like, man, I'm sad that it's over, I wish there was more. Well, there is more. So, like I said with other games, play this one. If you enjoy it, go back and play the ones previous. Ladies and gentlemen, there was 10 RPGs that I think everybody should give a try. If you're an RPG fan or not, I would still try these games. Making a video like this and putting 10 on a list, you have to leave off 100 other games. You add 10, you're leaving off a million other great ones. So in the comments below, let me know what games deserve to be on this list. What is your favorite RPG? Start a conversation because I would love to hear from you guys. And remember, if you enjoy gaming news, gaming stories, and Nintendo Switch content, then you are in the right place. So go ahead and hit a like and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram so you don't miss some of these cool giveaways I'm doing. And you guys know me, I'll see you soon with a new video. Peace out.